The pitchless scream, the ultimate vocal distortion, where there's no note that stands out. It's not like we're singing a melody and adding grit or distortion to a note. It's just this all-out aggression.
Everything falls apart. We're pressing onward. It's all for the
Now, there's many ways that people have figured out how to do this with their own voices. Some of these ways are safe, and some are not so safe. But I'm going to share with you the best way that I've figured out how to do the pitchless scream. And even though it is indeed pitchless, it begins with two different things: vocal fry and an ambiguous pitch, and then it ends with a third, pushing up to our vocal break, and then milking it for all it's worth. This video is in large part a follow-up to a video that I did a few months ago on how to sing aggressively and scream without trashing your voice. And if you watch that video, you have a great understanding of what it means to use your vocal break to get those broken up sounds. But I wanted to give you a nicely packaged singular exercise that doesn't involve yodeling to get this sound and keep this sound in your own voice. This is what I do. This is how I warm up for this type of singing. It's really effective, and once you practice this, once you practice these three things, fry, ambiguous pitch, and then sliding up to your vocal break, and you do it over and over again and make it a habit and learn how things feel while you're doing it, you'll be able to scream like this on demand. And that's really what we all want. Before we get into this application, I just want to say that if you don't understand the basics of singing, the basics of breath support, the basics of using your diaphragm instead of your neck to get power, please do yourself a favor and join my free vocal course linked below. You don't want to be trying this stuff if you don't have a solid foundation. Make sure you have the basics down first. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to talk in like this. Fry. We're not going to spend very much time there. We're going to go for Now, we're going to push into normal speech resonance, and then we're going to work with pitch, but not like that. We're going to just slide around in our general speech range. And back down. Now, as we go higher, we're going to resist the urge to mix. So we're not going to go like you've heard me do in a lot of my other videos, and like a lot of singers do really, really well. I've covered that a lot on this channel as well. Instead, we're just going to make sure that we're keeping the resonance low. If you've watched my video on belting, you know I talk about that ball of energy in the front of your mouth. We want to get to that point. Now we want to push up with that belt resonance until our voice cracks. There it is. All right, now I'm not going to spend a lot of time right there like I did in the last video. Watch the last video for that. I want to show you this transition over and over again and how I'm grabbing hold of that break and then pushing into it. Now you might ask, why begin with quiet vocal fry? Like that. Well, I like to start and end pitchless and use the pitch as my bridge between the two zones. Now, to practice this quietly so that you don't develop a bad relationship with your neighbors or get the police called on you or just get a lot of weird looks, and so that you can practice getting the feels longer, this bookend with pitchless can be done at a quiet level. Because when we use less energy for our main chest resonance, we can trigger that break sooner. See what I did there? I am Now, this is not the same completely as doing what I did earlier in the video, which is big sounding scream, right? But it trains our vocal mechanisms to engage in the right places on demand, like we want to be, without getting tired. So this is the first thing that I like to do before I start really giving it everything. Even when you're screaming correctly, even when you're singing correctly, you still have a vocal budget, and you don't want to be screaming for hours and hours and hours, especially while you're trying to figure things out. So try this with me several times. I'm accessing that fry at the bottom, and then I'm practicing going through normal speech range, and then I'm accessing fry higher. A lot of people think you can only get fry lower, but if you can get this sensation softly and then go up to the belty thing that I showed you earlier, you're learning how to get the right feels, you're experimenting with the versatility of fry, and you're putting things in the right place in order to get that more aggressive sound. Now, it really helps me to take the practicing to a musical context, and that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to go jam over a backing track, part of the one that you heard at the beginning of this lesson. And remember, when you're going from the fry to the pitch, and then you're going up to that right at the time that you feel that break coming, push! It takes a lot of practice, but you'll get that timing. Practice it soft and practice it loud over a musical context.
Speak with
Let me know how things go, and we'll see you for more.